linked to the MS13 gang, and it all
crackdown against a butcherous gang known as MS13 on
MS13 gang member is sentenced to decades behind bars after
the 17 men prosecutors say are high-level MS13 gang members involved in murders and drug trafficking in our region. Victor Lopez is among them. Prosecutors say he killed Angel Soler of Roosevelt last July. He was found mutilated.
Welcome to 416 Street Talk. In this video we will be discussing about MS13 and how it made its tracks into Canada. The gang began in the barrios of Los Angeles during the 1980s, formed by immigrants who had fled El Salvador's long and brutal civil war which took the life of 75,000 people and 8,000 missing. The MS stands for Mara Salvatrucha, which translates into Street Smart Salvadorians, and the 13 represents the position of M in the alphabet. The 13 is the gang symbol. To join MS13 you either kill someone such as a gang member or get a 13-second beating by multiple gang members. The symbol is also used in MS13's torture method. They cut their rivals in 13 pieces, kill 13 people and rape someone for 13 seconds. MS13 made a reputation for extreme torture methods. Leaving the gang is impossible, and some MS13 factions kill members or their families if they leave. Once you got the tattoo on your chest, you're MS13 for life. In the early 2000s there were MS13 factions across 46 states making $31 million alone in the US. But there was a crackdown on the gang during this time. Gang members were deported back to El Salvador, but since they were not wanted for any crimes in El Salvador they were let back into society. In El Salvador MS13 controlled neighborhoods, but another gang known as 18th Street Gang had a lot of the territory, and leaders of MS13 told members to recruit as many kids as possible. The gang grew, and during 2015 there were 18 murders a day between 18th Street and MS13. MS13 didn't care about who they killed. It could be an innocent or gang member, and killing a cop was a trophy since gang members moved up ranks if they killed cops. MS13 members were trying to get back into the US. During 2015 many members were smuggled back into the US and given orders to start sets in Long Island, which resulted in 26 people killed, most of them innocent. In 2017 on Long Island, Lenis Escobar, known as Little Devil, lured 5 men to a park in Central Islip to smoke marijuana. When they got there, the victims were attacked by MS13 gang members with machete, knives, an axe, and wooden clubs. One of the boys ran away, but the other 4 were killed for posting pictures throwing up gang signs. But the boys were all just trying to look tough and cool, but it ended their lives. That's when there was another crackdown and members were deported back, but more members were coming in around 2016. Due to Trump's crackdown they started hiding and smuggling into Canada, but way before that MS13 already established in Toronto. A Toronto man who boasted about being a part of MS13 was taken into custody in 2018. Police found out that he had MS13 signs all over him, but not only that, they discovered many MS13 sets in Toronto. The man claimed that 13 was his lucky number, but police later found out that he had a long criminal history, including attempted murder on another man years before. He was scheduled to be deported back to El Salvador that same year. Areas such as Jane and Sheppard and Jane and Woolner are filled with MS13 members, and violence in these areas occur every day, but mostly during the 2010s. These areas were too dangerous to go into, but now it's much safer, and the areas even have rappers coming out of it. Big 13 is a rapper from Jane and Woolner and made his hit song Deep End talking about his struggle living in Jane and Woolner, but also his ties to MS13. On the 2nd of July 2022, Big 13's friend Spider was murdered on Woolner Avenue by a hitman. Spider and another man were in a taxi when a hitman came and shot them both numerous times in the head and chest, killing them both. The story gets crazy when no one was claiming his body, because in order to bury Spider they needed a family member to come over to Mexico to claim the body and bring him back to El Salvador. After a while Spider's girlfriend went to Mexico to claim his body, but got the same fate as Spider. At 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, Spider's girlfriend was found lying on her face in a pool of blood. She was given a single shot to the head known as coup de grace. Spider's body was finally claimed and buried. Another case which made police look into the MS13 gang. 2 MS13 members and another man got into a fight behind a store on Jane Street and Woolner Avenue. Two MS13 members started punching and kicking another man. That's where they tried to get him in the trunk, but he fought them off, but they were able to get him in the back seat, and then they took off east on Woolner Avenue. The man later escaped 2 days later with injuries all over him. MS13 has expanded and now has roots all over the world, but it's crazy to think about how they have managed to keep their control after many attempts to remove MS13. It is still operating to this day.